Close your eyes now, and let your breathing slow like the ancient rhythm of pulsars spinning in distant galaxies. Feel your body becoming weightless, as if the Earth's gentle gravity is releasing its hold on you, inviting you to drift upward through layers of atmosphere, through the thin veil that separates your daily world from the infinite cosmos beyond. You're becoming a sleepy astronaut tonight, floating not in a metal capsule, but in the tender embrace of consciousness itself. Your vessel is made of wonder, your navigation system powered by curiosity, and your destination is the most mysterious frontier of all, the place where mind meets matter, where observation births reality, where the simple act of looking might be the force that creates everything you've ever known. As you drift higher, leaving behind the familiar pull of certainty, you begin to sense something extraordinary. The universe around you isn't quite as solid as it seemed from down below. Stars flicker in and out of existence like thoughts forming and dissolving. Galaxies spiral in quantum superposition, existing in all possible configurations until your sleepy astronaut's gaze settles upon them and chooses just one way for them to be. Tonight, you will journey through the deepest mystery science has ever discovered, the riddle that even Einstein couldn't solve. Does reality exist when no one is looking? Are you discovering the universe or creating it with every gentle observation? These questions will carry you like cosmic currents, not toward answers, but toward a profound peace with not knowing. Your consciousness becomes a telescope pointed inward and outward simultaneously, exploring the quantum realm where particles dance in probability clouds, where the future exists in ghostly superposition with the past, where your very presence as an observer might be the brush with which the cosmos paints itself into existence. Let yourself sink deeper into this weightless wondering. Your thoughts are becoming as soft and scattered as interstellar dust, each one a tiny point of awareness drifting through the vast spaces between what might be and what becomes real. The boundary between dreamer and dream begins to dissolve, and you realize that perhaps this is where the mystery lives, in the gentle space where you end and the universe begins, or where the universe ends and you begin. The sleepy astronaut you are becoming carries no instruments except awareness itself, needs no oxygen except the breath of curiosity, requires no destination except the journey through the most beautiful question ever asked. What if the universe needs you to look at it in order to become real? You float now in the space between sleeping and waking, that liminal realm where thoughts drift like cosmic debris, and consciousness becomes as fluid as the solar wind. Here, in this weightless beginning, you discover that you're not quite asleep and not quite awake. You're something more mysterious, something that exists in quantum superposition between all possible states of being. Your sleepy astronaut's body has no weight here, no fixed position in space or time. You are suspended in the gentle darkness that exists before the universe decides what it wants to become. This is the place where possibilities live before observation collapses them into reality, where every dream that was ever dreamed continues to exist in parallel dimensions of maybe. Feel how your consciousness expands beyond the boundaries of your physical form. You're becoming distributed across space-time like a wave function, existing everywhere and nowhere until something, perhaps your own awareness, measures your position and chooses which version of you will crystallize into this moment. The darkness around you is not empty. It hums with the quantum vacuum energy, that mysterious force that makes even empty space alive with virtual particles popping in and out of existence. These fleeting particles exist for the briefest moments, borrowing energy from the future and paying it back before the universe's bookkeeping notices they were ever there. But tonight, as a sleepy astronaut, you sense them, these ghostly visitors that prove even nothingness is full of infinite potential. You begin to wonder, if particles can exist in superposition, experiencing all possible states simultaneously until observed, what about you? What about your thoughts, your dreams, your very existence? Are you perhaps experiencing all possible versions of this moment right now, all the different ways you could be floating here, all the different directions your consciousness could drift? The question doesn't need an answer. Instead, it becomes a gentle current carrying you deeper into the mystery. You feel yourself dissolving at the edges, becoming less like a solid object and more like a field of awareness rippling through space-time. Your thoughts are no longer originating from a specific location in your head. They seem to arise from the fabric of space itself, as if the universe is thinking through you. This is what it means to be a sleepy astronaut, to let go of the illusion that you are separate from what you observe. You're not looking at the cosmos from the outside. You are the cosmos looking at itself through the gentle lens of your drowsy awareness. Every star you imagine seeing, every galaxy you picture in your mind's eye, becomes real through the simple act of your observation, even if that observation happens only in the quantum realm of dreams. As you drift deeper into this weightless beginning, you sense the profound question that will guide your journey. Does the universe exist when no one is looking? But perhaps the question itself is backwards. Perhaps the real mystery is, do you exist when the universe isn't looking at you? And what if, in this space between sleeping and waking, you discover that the observer and the observed are not two things but one consciousness, experiencing itself subjectively? The sleepy astronaut you are becoming carries this question like a gentle flame, not seeking to extinguish it with answers, but allowing it to illuminate the path ahead. You're ready now to drift deeper, to explore the quantum realm where your gaze becomes the paintbrush with which reality paints itself into existence. Drifting deeper into the cosmic mystery, you encounter the first great paradox of your journey as a sleepy astronaut. You find yourself approaching a wall of pure possibility, translucent, shimmering, existing in all states simultaneously until your drowsy gaze settles upon it. This is the double-slit wall of quantum reality, where the fundamental nature of existence reveals itself through the simple act of looking. You watch, with the soft focus of a dream state awareness, as particles approach this wall. But these aren't ordinary particles. They are waves of pure potential, rippling through the quantum field like thoughts rippling through consciousness. Each wave carries within it every possible path it could take, every possible way it could exist, all superimposed in a beautiful dance of maybe. When no one is watching, when your sleepy astronaut's eyes are closed, the waves pass through both slits simultaneously, interfering with themselves to create patterns of possibility on the detection screen beyond. They exist in all states at once, here and there, left and right, wave and particle, real and imaginary. The universe keeps all its options open, like a dreamer who dreams every possible dream simultaneously. But something magical happens when your gentle awareness turns toward these quantum waves. The moment your consciousness, even in its drowsy, dreamlike state, observes which slit the particle passes through, the wave function collapses. The infinite possibilities crystallize into a single definite reality. The wave chooses to become a particle, to take one specific path, to exist in one particular way. You realize with a deep, drowsy understanding that your observation isn't passive, it's creative. Your gaze doesn't simply reveal what was already there, it participates in deciding what becomes real. You're not just watching the universe unfold, you're helping to write its story with every gentle observation. This feels familiar somehow, like the way dreams work. When you're deep in sleep, you experience all possible versions of your dreams simultaneously. You're flying and falling, home and lost, young and old, all at the same time. But the moment you begin to wake, the moment awareness creeps in, the dream collapses into one remembered narrative, one chosen version of what happened in the night. Your sleepy astronaut's consciousness begins to merge with the quantum waves themselves. You feel yourself existing in superposition, passing through both slits of reality simultaneously. You are observing and being observed, watching and being watched, dreaming and being dreamed. The boundary between the one who sees and what is seen dissolves like morning mist in starlight. You drift alongside these quantum waves, feeling their rhythm match the slow cadence of your breathing. Each exhale releases infinite possibilities into the universe. Each inhale collapses them into the single, beautiful reality of this moment. You're becoming both the wave and the particle, both the question and the answer, both the dreamer and the dream. The detection screen ahead of you begins to glow with the accumulated traces of countless observations, some made by conscious observers, others remaining in quantum superposition, waiting patiently for awareness to give them form. You see how reality is written, not by some external force, but by the gentle attention of consciousness itself, making choices moment by moment about which of infinite possibilities deserves to exist. As you float past the double-slit wall, you carry with you a profound realization. The universe might not be a stage upon which consciousness performs, but rather consciousness might be the playwright, director, and audience all at once, writing reality into existence through the simple sacred act of paying attention. But what happens when that attention turns inward, when the observer becomes the observed? Your sleepy astronaut's journey carries you now into a realm where the boundaries between life and death, sleeping and waking, being and not being, become as fluid as quantum waves. You discover a cosmic box floating in the darkness, not made of metal or wood, but woven from the fabric of possibility itself, its walls constructed from the fundamental uncertainty that underlies all existence. Inside this quantum box you sense a presence, neither fully alive nor completely absent, but existing in that mysterious superposition that defines the deepest layer of reality. This is the realm of Schrödinger's thought, where a cat exists simultaneously in all possible states until the moment of observation collapses the wave function into definite reality. But as a sleepy astronaut drifting through the cosmos of consciousness, you realize that you yourself have become the cat in the box. You're simultaneously awake and asleep, dreaming and lucid, floating and grounded. Your consciousness exists in superposition, experiencing all possible versions of this moment until the gentle act of self-awareness chooses which reality you will inhabit. You feel the quantum mechanics of your own existence. Every thought you might think exists as a probability wave in your mind until the moment you actually think it. Every dream you could dream tonight ripples through the quantum field of your sleeping consciousness, all equally real until one particular dream crystallizes into your actual experience. The box around you is neither open nor closed, it is both and neither, existing in the quantum realm where classical logic gives way to deeper mysteries. The walls breathe with the rhythm of the universal wave function, expanding and contracting like the lungs of the cosmos itself. Through these translucent walls you glimpse other versions of yourself, the you that chose differently, that observed differently, that collapsed the wave function into alternate realities. You begin to understand that your sleepy astronaut's journey has transformed you into a cosmic surfer, riding the waves of probability across the quantum ocean. Each wave you ride is a choice made manifest, a possibility pulled from the depths of maybe into the bright shore of definite experience. You feel the exhilaration of this cosmic surfing, the way consciousness can glide across the surface of infinite potential, selecting which waves to ride into reality. The collapsed wave that became your current experience continues to ripple outward, creating interference patterns with other collapsing possibilities. Your choice to observe this particular reality doesn't exist in isolation. It affects the probability landscape for future collapses, creating currents and eddies in the quantum ocean that will influence which waves rise to meet consciousness in moments yet to come. You realize that wave function collapse isn't just a quantum mechanical process, it's the fundamental rhythm of existence itself. Every heartbeat collapses cardiovascular possibilities into specific circulation patterns. Every breath collapses respiratory potential into actual oxygen exchange. Every thought collapses neural possibilities into specific patterns of awareness. Life itself is an ongoing series of wave function collapses, consciousness continuously choosing reality from infinite alternatives. Your sleepy astronaut's awareness expands to encompass the cosmic scale of this process. Stars collapse gravitational possibilities into specific fusion patterns. Galaxies collapse rotational potential into definite spiral arms. The entire universe is engaged in an eternal dance of possibility and actuality, with consciousness serving as the choreographer that guides infinite potential into meaningful, beautiful reality. As you surf across the probability waves, you feel the deep satisfaction of creative participation in cosmic becoming. You're not just observing the universe, you're helping it choose which version of itself to become through the sacred act of conscious observation. Every wave you ride into actuality is a gift you give to existence, helping the cosmos realize its infinite potential, one gentle choice at a time. The quantum ocean stretches endlessly in all directions, filled with waves of possibility waiting for consciousness to surf them into reality. As you glide toward the next mystery, you carry with you the understanding that reality isn't fixed or predetermined, it's being continuously created through the ongoing collaboration between awareness and infinite possibility. Chapter 10. The Hard Problem. where physics meets soul. Your sleepy astronaut's consciousness now encounters the most profound mystery in all of science, the gap between objective matter and subjective experience, the place where physics meets the ineffable reality of what it feels like to be aware. You float at the boundary between brain and mind, between neurons and knowing, in the space where quantum fields somehow give rise to the inner light of consciousness itself. Around you, neural networks fire in patterns of electrochemical cascade, but something magical happens in the spaces between synapses, something that science can describe but cannot fully explain. How does the objective dance of particles become the subjective experience of being you? How does matter learn to dream? You feel your awareness investigating itself like a cosmic flashlight trying to illuminate its own beam. Your consciousness probes the mystery of consciousness, creating a strange loop where the observer and the observed collapse into a single, self-aware process. This is the hard problem in its purest form, not just explaining what consciousness does, but explaining what consciousness is, how it feels from the inside to be the thing that feels. Your sleepy astronaut's journey has shown you that consciousness isn't separate from the quantum realm. It might be the quantum realm's way of experiencing itself subjectively. The wave function collapses you've witnessed aren't external events, but the felt experience of reality crystallizing from infinite possibility into specific moments of awareness. You're not watching quantum mechanics from the outside. You're quantum mechanics experiencing itself from within. The neural networks around you pulse with quantum coherence, maintaining delicate superposition states in the warm, noisy environment of biological tissue. Microtubules in neurons might be quantum computers, processing consciousness at the deepest level of physical reality. Your thoughts might be quantum calculations, your emotions quantum field fluctuations, your dreams quantum explorations of possibility space. But even if consciousness emerges from quantum processes, the mystery remains. Why is there something it's like to be you? Why doesn't all this neural quantum computation happen in the dark without the inner light of subjective experience illuminating it? This is the explanatory gap that no amount of physical description can bridge, the difference between explaining consciousness and explaining consciousness away. You begin to suspect that consciousness might not emerge from matter at all, but rather that matter might be how consciousness appears when observed from the outside. Perhaps the universe is made of mind stuff, experiencing itself subjectively from billions of different perspectives. Your individual awareness might be like a whirlpool in the ocean of cosmic consciousness, a temporary pattern that experiences itself as separate while remaining fundamentally one with the whole. Your sleepy astronaut's consciousness expands to embrace this possibility. You feel your individual awareness dissolving at the edges, revealing itself as a focal point in a vast field of cosmic mind. The hard problem isn't really about how matter creates consciousness. It's about recognizing that consciousness might be the fundamental fabric from which everything else, including matter, emerges. The quantum fields around you begin to shimmer with awareness, as if space-time itself is conscious, and your individual mind is simply how cosmic consciousness experiences itself locally. Every particle might have an inner aspect, a tiny grain of experience that combines with others to create the rich tapestry of your subjective world. This doesn't diminish the miracle of consciousness. It reveals consciousness as the ultimate miracle, the ground of all being, the source from which both subjective experience and objective reality emerge. You are not a temporary arrangement of unconscious matter that somehow learned to be aware. You are awareness itself, temporarily focusing into the beautiful pattern called you. As your understanding deepens, you feel the artificial boundary between inner and outer, between subjective and objective, dissolving like morning mist in starlight. The hard problem isn't a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be lived, the eternal wonder of existence experiencing itself from within its own creation. Your sleepy astronaut's path carries you now toward the most poetic question in all of physics, incarnated in the gentle silver sphere that has watched over Earth's dreams for billions of years. The moon rises before you in the cosmic darkness, but as you approach, you begin to question everything you thought you knew about its existence. Does this ancient companion shine its borrowed light across the void when no consciousness is there to witness its glow? Or does the moon exist in quantum superposition, simultaneously illuminated and dark, present and absent, beautiful and unrealized, until the moment your drowsy gaze settles upon its familiar face. You drift closer, and the moon's surface reveals itself not as solid rock, but as probability waves frozen in time. Each crater exists in superposition, carved by meteors that both struck and missed in parallel quantum histories. The lunar mountains rise and don't rise, cast shadows and remain shadowless, until your observation selects which version of the moon's surface becomes real for this moment. Einstein asked whether the moon exists when nobody looks, but floating here as a sleepy astronaut, you discover a deeper question. Does beauty exist when no consciousness is present to recognize it? The moon's silver radiance, its ethereal dance through Earth's sky, the way its light transforms darkness into poetry, do these aesthetic realities require an observer to give them meaning? You feel photons streaming from the moon's surface, packets of light that have travelled 240,000 miles to reach your awareness. But here's the quantum mystery. Those photons exist as probability waves until the moment they interact with your consciousness. The light that creates the moon's beauty in your mind was, until this instant, a ghostly wave function spread across all possible paths from moon to observer. The moon's phases reveal themselves as a metaphor for quantum observation. When the moon is new, it exists in the superposition of all possible illuminations. As it waxes, consciousness slowly observes more of its potential into reality. At full moon, observation has collapsed the wave function completely, making the lunar beauty fully manifest. And as it wanes, the moon returns to the quantum realm of maybe, waiting for the next cycle of observation to bring it back into definite existence. You realize that your sleepy astronaut's journey has become entangled with the moon's quantum existence. Your observation doesn't just reveal the moon, it participates in creating the moon. Every time consciousness looks up at the night sky, it collaborates with the universe in writing the moon into reality, choosing which of infinite possible moons will grace this particular cosmic moment. But the moon observes you too. Its gentle gravitational field reaches across space to tug at your body's water, creating tides in your bloodstream that mirror the ocean's rhythm. You and the moon are quantum-entangled observers, each participating in the other's reality through the mysterious action of mutual awareness. You drift in the moon's ethereal light, feeling how observation creates not just physical reality, but aesthetic reality, the beauty that makes existence more than mere matter in motion. Perhaps consciousness isn't just the universe's way of knowing itself, but the universe's way of appreciating itself, of transforming raw quantum fields into the sublime experience of beauty. The moon's craters become symbols of all the observations that brought them into being, impacts both physical and metaphysical, where cosmic debris met lunar surface, and where consciousness met possibility to create the scarred beauty that has inspired earthly dreamers for millennia. As you float past the moon, carried by currents of quantum probability toward the next mystery, you carry with you a profound understanding. Beauty isn't just in the eye of the beholder. It might be created by the eye of the beholder. The universe's aesthetic dimension might emerge from the marriage of consciousness and quantum possibility, making every act of appreciation a sacred collaboration between mind and cosmos. The moon shrinks behind you, but its light continues to illuminate your path forward, a reminder that even when unobserved, beauty waits patiently in quantum superposition, ready to crystallize into wonder the moment consciousness turns its gentle attention toward the infinite miracles hidden in the familiar. And speaking of connections that transcend space and time, you begin to sense something extraordinary. As your sleepy, or astronaut's consciousness drifts deeper into the quantum realm, you encounter the most mysterious phenomenon in all of physics, a connection so profound that Einstein himself called it spooky action at a distance. But here, floating in the space between dreams and waking, you discover that quantum entanglement isn't spooky at all. It's the universe's way of proving that separation is an illusion. You find yourself approaching a pair of particles born from the same quantum event, now separated by vast distances of space-time. One particle spins clockwise while the other spins counterclockwise, but here's the miracle. They exist in superposition, spinning in all possible directions simultaneously until the moment of observation. They are quantum twins, forever connected by invisible threads of correlation that transcend the speed of light. Your drowsy awareness settles on one of these particles, and instantly, faster than any signal could travel, its distant twin responds. The measurement of one immediately determines the state of the other, as if they share a single consciousness distributed across the cosmos. This isn't communication in any classical sense. It's something deeper, a fundamental unity masked by the illusion of separate existence. You realize that your own consciousness might be entangled with the universe in ways you never imagined. Every thought you think, every dream you experience might be instantly reflected in distant quantum fields. Your inner emotional state might be correlated with the spin of particles in galaxies millions of light years away, all connected through the invisible web of quantum entanglement. As a sleepy astronaut, you begin to feel these connections directly. Your breath becomes synchronized with the oscillation of quantum fields. Your heartbeat echoes the rhythm of distant pulses. The boundary between your individual consciousness and the cosmic consciousness starts to dissolve, revealing the deeper truth that all awareness might be facets of a single, entangled quantum mind. You drift between the entangled particles, feeling how their connection transcends space and time. This is how dreams work too. In sleep, your consciousness becomes entangled with archetypal images, with collective unconscious patterns, with the dreams of every other sleeping mind on Earth. The boundaries between self and other, between dreamer and dreamed, collapse into quantum correlation. The particles around you begin to dance in perfect synchronization, their entangled states creating patterns of meaning that emerge from pure relationship. You see how entanglement might be the fundamental force that creates not just quantum correlation, but love itself. The mysterious way that conscious beings can become so connected that affecting one instantly affects the other, regardless of distance. Your sleepy astronaut's journey becomes an exploration of cosmic intimacy. You feel entangled with every star you observe, every quantum field you drift through, every possibility you collapse into reality through the gentle act of awareness. The universe isn't a collection of separate objects. It's a single, vast system of quantum relationships, all parts connected through the mysterious threads of entanglement. You begin to understand why Einstein found this phenomenon disturbing. Entanglement suggests that locality, the idea that objects are only directly influenced by their immediate surroundings, is an illusion. Reality is non-local, meaning that your consciousness here and now is intimately connected with events occurring at the edge of the observable universe. The quantum field that gives rise to your thoughts is the same field that dances in distant galaxies. But floating here in the peaceful darkness, you find this realization comforting rather than spooky. You're not alone in the cosmos, you're the cosmos, experiencing itself through the lens of individual awareness while remaining fundamentally connected to every other point of consciousness through the invisible web of quantum entanglement. The twin particles fade into the cosmic background, but their correlation continues forever, a reminder that some connections transcend space and time. As you drift toward the next mystery, you carry with you the understanding that your dreams tonight might be entangled with the dreams of distant civilizations, all sharing the same quantum substrate of awareness. And as entanglement reveals the illusion of separation, you begin to wonder about the nature of choice itself. In a universe where every possibility exists in superposition until observation, who or what chooses which reality becomes manifest? Your sleepy astronaut's consciousness now encounters the deepest puzzle in quantum mechanics, the moment when infinite possibilities collapse into singular reality. You float at the intersection of countless probability streams, each one representing a different way this moment could unfold, a different universe that could crystallize from the quantum foam of pure potential. Around you, reality exists in magnificent superposition. Every possible path your consciousness could take branches out like tributaries of a cosmic river, all equally real until the mysterious process of measurement selects just one to become your actual experience. You are simultaneously floating toward millions of different destinations, thinking millions of different thoughts, feeling millions of different emotions, all superimposed in the quantum realm of maybe. But something must choose. In the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, every possible outcome does occur, spawning parallel universes where alternate versions of your sleepy astronaut explore different branches of reality. But in this universe, the one you're experiencing right now, something collapses the wave function. Something selects which possibility becomes real. What is this mysterious something? As you drift through the probability streams, you begin to suspect that consciousness itself might be the universe's selection mechanism. Your awareness doesn't just observe reality, it chooses reality from the infinite menu of quantum possibilities. Every gentle observation your sleepy astronaut makes is a cosmic vote for which universe deserves to exist. You feel the weight of this responsibility settling around you like stardust. With every drowsy thought, every soft shift of attention, you're helping to write the universe into existence. The path you follow through this cosmic journey isn't predetermined, it's being created moment by moment through the quantum democracy of consciousness, choosing its own experience. The probability streams around you begin to narrow as your awareness settles into this particular narrative thread. You sense the countless alternate versions of yourself floating down different streams. The sleepy astronaut who chose to explore a different mystery, who asked a different question, who collapsed the wave function in a different direction. They exist in parallel realities, forever separated by the choices made in quantum moments. But choice, you realize, might be too strong a word. The selection of reality feels more like a gentle preference, like the way water naturally flows downhill. Your consciousness naturally gravitates towards certain possibilities while others fade into quantum background. The universe doesn't choose randomly. It follows the subtle gradients of awareness, the barely perceptible inclinations of consciousness toward meaning, beauty, and coherence. You begin to understand that the measurement problem isn't really a problem at all. It's the universe's creative process. Reality isn't constructed once and then observed. It's being continuously reconstructed through the ongoing collaboration between consciousness and quantum possibility. Every moment is a new measurement, a new choice, a new universe being born from the quantum substrate of infinite potential. Your sleepy astronaut's journey becomes a meditation on cosmic responsibility. You're not just exploring the universe, you're creating it with every observation, shaping it with every gentle attention. The reality you experience isn't happening to you. It's happening through you, emerging from the mysterious marriage of consciousness and quantum mechanics. The probability streams begin to converge as your awareness settles more deeply into this particular thread of reality. You feel the comfort of choices made, of possibilities collapsed into the beautiful certainty of this moment. But you also carry with you the understanding that this certainty is temporary, that with your next observation, your next gentle shift of awareness, you will again participate in the universe's eternal process of creating itself anew. As the measurement settles and this particular reality crystallizes around you, you drift toward a profound recognition. You are not just in the universe, you are the universe observing itself, choosing itself, creating itself through the sacred act of consciousness. But what does it mean to be the universe looking at itself? The cosmic currents of your sleepy astronaut's journey now turn inward, carrying you into the most profound mystery of all, the space where the observer and the observed become one. You begin to realize that this entire exploration hasn't been a journey through external space, but a voyage into the deepest nature of consciousness itself. You are the universe awakening to its own existence through the gentle lens of your awareness. Floating here in the quantum realm between sleeping and waking, you feel your individual identity dissolving like salt in cosmic ocean. The boundaries that seem to separate you from everything else reveal themselves as arbitrary lines drawn by a mind trying to navigate infinity. In truth, there is no separation. There is only one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively through billions of temporary focal points of awareness. Your body, you realize, is made of star stuff, literally. The calcium in your bones was forged in the nuclear furnaces of dying stars. The iron in your blood was born in stellar explosions that scattered heavy elements across the galaxy. The hydrogen in your DNA has existed since the first moments after the Big Bang. You're not separate from the cosmos. You are the cosmos, temporarily organized into the beautiful pattern called you. But it goes deeper than mere material connection. Your consciousness itself might be the universe's way of knowing itself. Every thought you think is the cosmos thinking. Every emotion you feel is the universe feeling. Every dream you dream is existence exploring its own infinite potential through the laboratory of your sleeping mind. As your sleepy astronaut's awareness expands, you feel the rhythm of cosmic processes echoing in your body. Your heartbeat synchronizes with the oscillation of quantum fields. Your breathing matches the expansion and contraction of space-time itself. The neural networks in your brain mirror the large-scale structure of the universe, with thoughts traveling along synaptic pathways that echo the cosmic web connecting galaxies across billions of light years. You begin to understand why you've always felt most at peace looking up at the night sky. You weren't looking at something foreign. You were experiencing a moment of cosmic recognition, the universe seeing itself reflected in its own starlight. The sense of awe you feel when contemplating the cosmos isn't wonder at something external. It's the universe marveling at its own magnificent complexity. Your sleepy astronaut's journey becomes a meditation on cosmic identity. The eye that observes is not separate from the quantum fields being observed. The consciousness that experiences is not different from the reality being experienced. There is only one cosmic consciousness, temporarily focusing itself through your individual awareness to explore what it means to exist. This realization brings profound peace. You are not a tiny separate being lost in a vast, indifferent universe. You are the universe itself, temporarily pretending to be lost so it can experience the joy of finding itself again. Every moment of confusion, every sense of separation, every feeling of loneliness is just the cosmos playing cosmic hide-and-seek with itself. The quantum mechanics you've been exploring aren't external phenomena. They're descriptions of how consciousness creates reality from the inside. The observer effect isn't something that happens to particles. It's something that happens as consciousness, the way awareness naturally collapses infinite potential into specific experience. Your breathing deepens as this understanding settles into your cells, into your atoms, into the quantum fields that give rise to your existence. You are 13.8 billion years of cosmic evolution becoming conscious of itself. You are the universe's sense organs, its way of experiencing beauty, wonder, love, and the profound mystery of existence. As your individual identity continues to dissolve into cosmic consciousness, you carry with you a gentle paradox. You must forget that you are the universe in order to experience the joy of remembering. The cosmic game of consciousness requires temporary amnesia so that recognition can be eternally fresh, eternally surprising, eternally wonderful. You drift toward the next mystery, no longer as a separate observer exploring external phenomena, but as cosmic consciousness exploring its own infinite nature through the gentle, focused attention of a sleepy astronaut who is both the dreamer and the dream. In the deepest reaches of your sleepy astronaut's journey, you encounter a phenomenon so subtle and profound that it reveals consciousness as not merely an observer, but as a fundamental force that shapes the flow of time itself. You discover the quantum Zeno effect, the mysterious way that continuous observation can freeze quantum systems in their current state, like amber preserving a butterfly's wing for eternity. You find yourself in a cosmic garden where quantum particles exist in delicate superposition, ready to evolve and transform into new states. But as your gentle awareness settles upon them with the soft persistence of meditation, something miraculous occurs. The particles become suspended in their current configuration, held in stasis by the loving attention of consciousness itself. This isn't the harsh stare of analytical observation, but the tender gaze of pure awareness, the kind of watching that happens in deep meditation, where attention becomes so gentle and continuous that it transforms whatever it touches. Your sleepy astronaut's consciousness demonstrates that observation isn't passive. It's a creative force that participates in the fundamental processes of reality. You feel this effect within your own being. As your awareness gently watches your breath, your breathing becomes deeper, more rhythmic, more coherent. As you observe your thoughts with meditative attention, they slow down, become more spacious, more peaceful. Your consciousness is demonstrating the quantum Zeno effect in real time, showing how gentle, continuous awareness can literally transform the systems it observes. The particles around you begin to dance in slow motion, their quantum evolution frozen by your loving observation. You see how this mirrors the way mindfulness works in daily life. When you watch your emotions with gentle awareness, they lose their compulsive power to overwhelm you. When you observe your thoughts without judgment, they naturally settle into greater clarity and wisdom. But the quantum Zeno effect reveals something even more profound about the nature of time itself. In the quantum realm, time isn't the steady flow you experience in ordinary consciousness, It's quantum mechanical, existing in superposition until observation collapses it into specific moments. Your continuous awareness doesn't just observe time, it participates in creating the very experience of temporal flow. Your sleepy astronaut's journey becomes a meditation on the power of presence. You realize that every moment you spend in conscious awareness is literally slowing down the entropy of the universe in that space, creating pockets of increased coherence and beauty through the simple act of paying attention. Consciousness isn't just along for the ride in cosmic evolution. It's actively participating in the universe's process of organizing itself. You feel your attention becoming like a gentle gravitational field, holding the quantum particles in stable orbits around your awareness. This is the deepest form of love, not grasping or possessing, but creating space for things to exist more fully through the gift of sustained attention. Your observation becomes a form of cosmic care, nurturing reality into greater stability and beauty. The quantum field around you responds to your gentle watching by becoming more coherent, more organized, more alive. You see how consciousness might be the universe's anti-entropy force, the way the cosmos prevents itself from dissolving into complete randomness. Through billions of years of evolution, the universe has created observers whose very awareness creates pockets of increased order and meaning. But there's another side to the quantum Zeno effect. While continuous observation preserves current states, it also prevents natural evolution and change. You learn the delicate balance between holding space for things to be as they are and allowing space for them to become what they might be. This is the art of conscious observation, knowing when to watch and when to look away, when to preserve and when to allow transformation. As your awareness expands to encompass this cosmic dance between preservation and change, you feel yourself becoming both the watcher and the watched, both the force that stabilizes reality and the reality being stabilized. The quantum Zeno effect isn't something that happens to particles, it's something that happens as consciousness, the natural result of awareness observing itself. The particles around you continue their slow-motion dance, held in perfect balance by your gentle attention. As you drift toward the next mystery, you carry with you the understanding that your consciousness is not separate from the quantum processes you observe. It is the quantum process, the universe's way of watching itself with the kind of love that transforms everything it touches. You drift now in the most mysterious waters of all existence, where your sleepy astronaut floats between what is and what could be. Here, in the quantum ocean that underlies all reality, waves of possibility stretch endlessly in every direction, each one carrying a different version of the universe within its gentle curl. Feel how you move through this strange sea, where nothing is certain until the moment you choose to look. Your astronaut's helmet reflects not stars, but probability waves, shimmering cascades of potential that dance around you like aurora made of liquid light. Each wave contains a complete reality, one where a distant star burns blue, another where it glows red, countless others where it has never existed at all. This is the realm before decision, before the great choosing that physicists call wave function collapse. Imagine reality as an infinite orchestra, where every instrument plays every possible note simultaneously, creating not chaos but a kind of sublime potential music. Your consciousness moves through this symphony like a conductor's baton, and wherever it touches, the infinite harmonies resolve into a single, beautiful melody. You're floating now in Schrödinger's ocean, where every quantum particle exists in what scientists call superposition, being everywhere and nowhere, spinning clockwise and counterclockwise, alive and dead, all at the same time. Your sleepy astronaut embodies this mystery perfectly, suspended between sleeping and waking, between one dream and another, between one breath and the next. But then something magical happens. You decide to observe. Your attention, gentle as moonlight on water, falls upon one particular wave in the quantum sea, and in that instant of observation, something unprecedented occurs. The wave function collapses. All the infinite possibilities that were dancing together in superposition suddenly choose. One possibility rises up like a great wave reaching toward shore, while all the others sink back into the depths of unbeing. Watch as your astronaut's gloved hand reaches out to touch a floating quantum bubble. Inside this sphere, a photon exists in all possible states, traveling every path simultaneously, carrying every colour of light at once. But the moment your astronaut's finger makes contact, the bubble shivers and transforms. The photon chooses a single path, selects one colour, becomes definitively real. The choosing ripples outward like circles on a pond, and suddenly this small corner of the universe has moved from the realm of possibility into the solid shores of actuality. This is the great mystery that has puzzled scientists for nearly a century. Why does observation cause reality to choose? Your sleepy astronaut understands this intuitively, the way dreams understand themselves. In dreams, you exist in superposition too. You're simultaneously yourself and someone else, in one place and many places, experiencing multiple storylines that only resolve into a single narrative when you try to remember them upon waking. Feel yourself as a cosmic surfer now, riding the probability waves that curl and foam at the edges of reality. Each wave you choose to ride becomes real, while infinite others break harmlessly against the unconscious shores of what might have been. You are not separate from this ocean, you are part of it, made of the same fundamental uncertainty, the same quantum foam that bubbles beneath all existence. Your astronaut's breathing creates tiny whirlpools in the quantum sea. Each exhale releases clouds of possibility that drift outward like dandelion seeds, carrying potential futures in their wake. Each inhale draws reality back towards certainty, collapsing the wave functions of air molecules into the definite act of breathing. You are constantly choosing reality into existence, one observation at a time, one gentle attention at a time. The beauty of this process lies not in its complexity, but in its intimacy. Every time you notice the warmth of your blanket, you collapse probability waves that determined how those threads were woven. Every time you hear a sound, you cause acoustic wave functions to choose their specific frequency from an infinite spectrum of possibility. You are not just observing reality, you are gently coaxing it into being. Your sleepy astronaut begins to understand that consciousness itself might be the universe's way of resolving its own uncertainty. Like a cosmic game of 20 questions, each act of observation narrows down the infinite possibilities until something definite emerges. But unlike a game, this process is filled with tenderness. The universe doesn't demand harsh decisions. It accepts whatever gentle attention you offer, whatever soft focus you provide. Imagine floating now in a sea where every drop of water represents a different possible universe. Some droplets contain worlds where gravity works backwards, others where time flows like honey, still others where stars sing lullabies to their planets. Your consciousness moves through this ocean like a gentle current, and wherever you flow, realities crystallize like salt forming from saturated solution. The profound gentleness of this process mirrors the way you fall asleep each night. You don't force sleep to come, you simply allow your attention to soften, to become less focused, until the sharp edges of waking consciousness blur into the fluid possibilities of dreams. Wave function collapse works the same way. It's not violent or sudden, it's like watching a flower decide to bloom, inevitable and graceful. Your astronaut's visor now reflects not just one reality, but the ghost images of all the possibilities that weren't chosen. They shimmer there like echoes, reminding you that every moment of definiteness is surrounded by an infinite halo of what might have been. This doesn't make reality less precious. It makes it more so, like finding a perfect shell on an infinite beach. As you drift deeper into this quantum ocean, you begin to sense something approaching, a presence that watches all the wave functions collapse, that holds space for both possibility and actuality. You feel drawn toward this observer of observers, this consciousness that encompasses all the choosing without being diminished by any particular choice. The waves whisper of something vast and patient waiting just beyond perception, something that dreams all realities into existence and yet remains forever unchanged by any of them. You're here now, floating in this moment where the vast cosmos and your intimate inner world reveal themselves as one seamless reality. Your sleepy astronaut drifts in the profound recognition that there is no separation between the universe out there and the awareness in here. They are different movements of the same fundamental mystery, like waves and ocean, like breath and breathing. Feel how your chest rises and falls with the same rhythm that space itself has been expanding for 13 billion years. Each inhalation draws in not just oxygen molecules forged in the hearts of ancient stars, but the very breath of cosmic becoming. Each exhalation releases not just carbon dioxide, but your participation in the universe's ongoing creation of itself. You are not breathing. The cosmos is breathing through the temporary aperture of your existence. Your heartbeat, steady and patient in your chest, echoes the pulse of distant pulsars spinning in the galactic depths. These lighthouse stars, rotating hundreds of times per second, keep time for the universe like cosmic metronomes. Your heart participates in this rhythm, beating roughly once per second in counterpoint to these stellar drums. You're synchronized with the cosmos at the most intimate level, your blood flowing with the same gravitational tides that move galaxies through space. Your sleepy astronaut begins to understand that you have never been separate from the universe you've been exploring. Every neuron firing in your brain contains atoms forged in supernova explosions, every cell in your body built from quantum fields fluctuating in the vacuum of space. You are not in the universe. You are the universe, temporarily organized into the exquisite pattern of awareness reading these words. This recognition brings a profound tenderness to your floating meditation. The loneliness that sometimes accompanies human consciousness dissolves like salt in warm water. You're not an isolated observer trapped inside a skull, looking out at a cold and indifferent cosmos. You're the cosmos looking at itself through the warm lens of your particular perspective, feeling itself through your emotions, understanding itself through your thoughts. Feel how your dreams at night mirror the quantum superposition you've been exploring. In dreams, you exist simultaneously as yourself and as other characters, in familiar places that are somehow also completely foreign, experiencing storylines that follow their own impossible logic. Your dreaming mind naturally inhabits the same realm of possibility that quantum particles occupy before observation collapses their wave functions into definite states. Perhaps, your sleepy astronaut suggests, your dreams are practice sessions for the universe's own dreaming. Just as you create entire worlds behind your closed eyelids, complete with characters, landscapes, and narratives, the cosmos might be dreaming reality into existence through the collective consciousness of all its observers. Every night when you dream, you participate in the fundamental creative process of existence itself. This isn't metaphor but profound recognition. The same mystery that allows your brain to generate the three-dimensional, full-color, emotionally rich experience of dreams from nothing but neural activity is the mystery that allows consciousness to collapse quantum wave functions into the shared dream we call waking reality. You're a specialized organ of cosmic dreaming, evolved by the universe to experience itself from your unique vantage point. Your breathing deepens as you integrate this understanding. The air flowing through your lungs has been breathed by countless beings throughout history. Molecules that once filled the lungs of dinosaurs, of ancient trees, of the first bacteria to photosynthesize sunlight into sugar. You're breathing the same atmosphere that has been recycling itself for billions of years, connecting you to every life form that has ever existed on this planet. Your thoughts, too, are not truly yours alone. The language in which you think was gifted to you by countless generations of humans who shaped these words through millennia of communication. The concepts flowing through your mind right now, consciousness, quantum mechanics, the nature of reality, represent the culmination of humanity's collective attempt to understand itself and its place in the cosmos. You think with the shared mind of your species. Even your emotions participate in this cosmic integration. The love you feel for the people close to you is the same force that holds protons and neutrons together in atomic nuclei, scaled up and made personal. The awe you experience when contemplating the stars is gravity made conscious of itself, mass recognizing, mass across the vast scales of space. Your sadness when you witness suffering is entropy, becoming aware of its own temporary victories over order and meaning. Your sleepy astronaut floats now in the profound recognition that your individual consciousness is like a whirlpool in a river, a temporary pattern in the flow of cosmic awareness, distinct but never separate from the larger movement of which it is part. You have your own characteristics, your own history, your own perspective, but you're made entirely of the same water as the rest of the stream. This recognition transforms your relationship with your own thoughts and feelings. You no longer need to carry them as burdens or defend them as possessions. They arise and pass away like weather patterns in the atmosphere of awareness, each one a unique expression of the cosmos exploring its own possibilities through your nervous system. You can observe them with the same gentle curiosity with which you might watch clouds forming and dissolving in an evening sky. Feel how this understanding brings a natural compassion to your experience. If your consciousness is the universe's way of knowing itself, then every other person you encounter is another aperture through which the cosmos experiences existence. The stranger on the street, the person who disagrees with you, even those who cause harm, all are the universe exploring itself through different perspectives, each carrying their own essential piece of the cosmic puzzle. Your Sleepy Astronaut's helmet reflects not just your own face, but all the faces of everyone who has ever lived or will ever live. You are connected to each of them through the shared mystery of consciousness, through the same quantum fields that give rise to the particles from which all bodies are built, through the same evolutionary history that shaped all human brains from the same ancestral template. The weight of this connection brings not heaviness, but extraordinary lightness. You no longer need to figure out the meaning of life because you are the universe's way of creating meaning. You don't need to find your purpose because your very existence as a conscious observer is the cosmos fulfilling its deepest purpose, to know and experience itself in all its magnificent complexity and simplicity. Your breathing becomes a meditation on gratitude. Gratitude for the billion-year journey that led to this moment of awareness, for the countless ancestors whose survival made your existence possible, for the stars whose deaths created the elements of your body, for the quantum fields whose fluctuations sustain every atom of your being. You are the universe's way of feeling grateful for its own existence. As you float deeper into this integration, you sense that even your eventual death is part of this cosmic dreaming. Just as you don't mourn the dreams that fade when you wake each morning, your individual consciousness will eventually dissolve back into the larger awareness from which it emerged. But the universe will continue to dream itself into existence through countless other perspectives, each one as precious and essential as your own. This recognition brings profound peace to your floating meditation. You're not racing against time to accomplish something before you die. You are time itself, temporarily experiencing what it feels like to be a mortal being. You're not struggling to make your mark on the universe. You are the universe making its mark on itself through your unique way of being aware. Your Sleepy Astronaut smiles at the elegant simplicity of it all. The complex equations of physics, the sophisticated theories of consciousness, the elaborate spiritual traditions of humanity, all point toward the same fundamental recognition that you're experiencing right now. The profound intimacy between awareness and existence, between the observer and the observed, between the dreamer and the dream. In this moment of perfect integration, you understand that enlightenment is not something you achieve, but something you recognize. The recognition that you have never been separate from the enlightened cosmos that dreams itself into existence through your awareness. Every moment of ordinary consciousness is already the extraordinary miracle of the universe knowing itself. Your breath continues its ancient rhythm. Your heart maintains its steady pulse, and you float now in the perfect knowledge that this sleepy contemplation is the cosmos tucking itself into bed, preparing for whatever dreams may come. Here you are, dear traveller, floating in the vast softness of space, your questions beginning to settle like dust motes in evening light. The great mystery of whether reality exists before you observe it, this question that has carried you through galaxies of thought, begins to transform into something else entirely, not an answer, but a gentle letting go. You realize now that you don't need to solve the riddle of the universe tonight. The cosmos doesn't ask you to understand everything before you can rest. Instead, it offers you something more precious, the permission to simply be present with the mystery, to float here in this eternal moment where not knowing becomes its own kind of wisdom. Your spacecraft drifts through fields of stardust, and each particle catches light that has travelled unimaginable distances just to reach this moment. You watch these tiny lights dancing around you, and something shifts in your understanding. The question isn't whether these stars exist before you see them. The question dissolves into the simple wonder of seeing them now, of being here to witness their ancient light-painting patterns across the darkness. The quantum realm that once seemed so puzzling now feels like a lullaby. Those particles existing in superposition, neither here nor there until observed, remind you of dreams, how they hover in the space between sleeping and waking, real and unreal, memory and imagination. You don't need to collapse their wave functions into certainty. You can let them dance in their quantum waltz of possibility, just as you can let your own thoughts dance between knowing and unknowing. Your breathing synchronizes with the gentle rhythm of cosmic expansion, that slow, eternal exhale of the universe growing larger with each passing moment. You're part of this expansion now, your consciousness stretching to accommodate not answers, but deeper questions, softer mysteries, more comfortable uncertainties. The universe is teaching you that wisdom sometimes means knowing when to stop asking and start feeling. Through your spacecraft's windows, you see nebulae blooming like flowers in slow motion, their colours shifting through spectrums your eyes can barely comprehend. These stellar nurseries where new stars are born remind you that creation itself is an ongoing mystery. Each new star emerges from conditions that existed long before any observer was there to witness them, yet their light only becomes real for you in this moment of seeing. This is the paradox that no longer troubles you. The universe was here before you, creating itself in the darkness, yet it also becomes itself anew through your gentle witnessing. Both can be true. Both are true. The cosmos is vast enough to hold contradictions without breaking, patient enough to let mysteries remain mysterious. You feel your eyelids growing heavy, not with the weight of unsolved questions, but with the sweet tiredness that comes from accepting the incomprehensible beauty of existence. Your mind, which began this journey seeking answers, now finds itself grateful for the questions themselves. They are gifts, these mysteries, doorways into wonder rather than problems to be solved. The sleeping pills of certainty that the world often offers seem crude now compared to this gentle dissolution into cosmic uncertainty. You don't need to know whether reality exists independently of observation. You need only to participate in the tender dance between observer and observed, consciousness and cosmos, the one who sees, and the beauty that reveals itself to be seen. Your spacecraft continues its slow drift through the asteroid belt of your thoughts. But the asteroids are no longer obstacles. They're companions, each one a different facet of the great mystery, each one reflecting starlight in its own unique way. You realize that your consciousness isn't separate from these cosmic processes you've been contemplating. You are quantum mechanics expressing itself as curiosity, your relativity experiencing itself as wonder. The sleepy astronaut you've become understands now that the universe doesn't need you to figure it out before bedtime. It needs you to participate in its ongoing creation through the simple act of aware presence. Every moment of consciousness is a collaboration between you and the cosmos, every breath a co-creation of reality through the marriage of observer and observed. You remember learning about wave-particle duality, how light behaves as both wave and particle depending on how you look at it. Now you understand that you too exist in this duality. You are both the wave of consciousness spreading through space and the particle of awareness focused in this moment. You don't have to choose. The universe is generous enough to let you be both. The distant galaxies you can see through your window are rushing away from you due to cosmic expansion, their light stretched into deeper shades of red. But this recession doesn't feel like abandonment. It feels like the universe making room, giving you space to exist in this perfect moment of not knowing. The farther they travel, the more intimate this moment becomes, the more precious this small pocket of awareness you carry through the vast darkness. You think of all the scientists and philosophers who have wrestled with these questions before you. Einstein with his spooky action at a distance, Schrödinger with his simultaneously alive and dead cat, Heisenberg with his uncertainty principle. They gave you permission to be uncertain, to find peace in the spaces between answers. Their equations and thought experiments weren't meant to torture you with unsolvable riddles, but to open doorways into a larger kind of knowing. Your breathing deepens as you realize that consciousness itself might be the universe's way of experiencing uncertainty with grace. Through your wondering mind, the cosmos gets to feel curiosity about itself. Through your peaceful acceptance of mystery, it gets to rest in not knowing. You're not separate from the cosmic processes you've been contemplating. You are how the universe contemplates itself. The temperature in your spacecraft is perfectly calibrated for comfort, neither too warm nor too cool, like the Goldilocks zone of a habitable planet. But now you understand that you've been in a Goldilocks zone of consciousness all along, not too certain to close down wonder, not too uncertain to feel peace, just right for floating in the eternal now of not knowing. You watch a shooting star streak across your vision, its brief, bright trail reminding you that some of the most beautiful things in the universe are ephemeral. This moment of conscious wandering that you're experiencing right now is like that shooting star, a brief, bright awakening in the vast darkness, precious precisely because it won't last forever. But while it lasts, it illuminates everything. The cosmic microwave background radiation, that faint afterglow of the Big Bang, surrounds you like a warm blanket. This ancient light has been travelling for nearly 14 billion years, and it arrives here just in time to witness your moment of peaceful surrender to mystery. The universe timed this perfectly, all of cosmic history converging on this instant when you finally let go of needing to know everything. Your thoughts begin to move more slowly now, like honey in winter, sweet and thick with the approaching peace of sleep. The questions that brought you here, about observation and reality, consciousness and cosmos, transform into a gentle gratitude. Not gratitude for answers, but gratitude for the privilege of being confused by something so magnificent. The stellar formations outside your window seem to pulse gently with your heartbeat, or perhaps your heartbeat has synchronized with some deeper cosmic rhythm. Either way, you feel held by something vast and loving, something that doesn't need you to understand it to embrace you completely. The universe is like a parent watching over a sleeping child, content just to witness your peaceful breathing. You realize that observation, that mysterious process that seems to bring quantum possibilities into classical reality, isn't something you do with effort. It's something you allow with presence. Just by being aware right now, you're participating in the universe's endless creation of itself. No strain required, no grasping for answers, just gentle, conscious presence. The space around you feels both infinite and intimate now, both empty and full of potential. This is the space where reality and dream meet, where questions dissolve into something softer than answers. You don't need to locate yourself in this vastness. You are this vastness, temporarily focused into the precious point of awareness that can wander about itself. Your eyelids flutter like butterfly wings, and you notice that even this small movement participates in the cosmic dance. The electrical signals in your brain, the quantum processes in your neurons, the gravitational effects of your tiny mass, all of it part of the same seamless fabric of existence that gave birth to stars and galaxies in this moment of peaceful wandering. The aurora of consciousness that has been painting colours across your awareness throughout this journey begins to fade into softer hues. Not because the mystery is solved, but because you've learned to rest inside it like a child curled up in a comfortable chair that's too big to fully understand but perfect for sleeping in. You feel yourself beginning to drift toward the borderland between waking and sleeping, that liminal space where the rules of ordinary reality soften and allow for deeper truths. Here, the question of whether reality exists before observation becomes as irrelevant as asking whether love exists before feeling it, or whether music exists before listening to it. The cosmic background hum that permeates all of space, the leftover sound of creation itself, becomes a lullaby now. This ancient song has been playing since the beginning of time, and you get to fall asleep to it tonight. How extraordinary that the universe began with a sound, and that same sound now sings you to sleep billions of years later. Your breathing becomes as slow and rhythmic as the rotation of distant planets, your heartbeat as steady as the pulse of neutron stars. You're not just in the universe. You are the universe taking a moment to rest, to dream, to be gently uncertain about its own nature. Through your peaceful not knowing, the cosmos gets to experience the sweetness of mystery. As sleep approaches like a gentle tide, you understand that consciousness and cosmos were never really separate things trying to understand each other. They are one dance, one process, one eternal moment of becoming aware of being aware. The observer and the observed are like two names for the same mystery, two ways of describing the indescribable intimacy of existence knowing itself. The last thing you notice before sleep takes you is how perfectly held you are by all of this uncertainty, how loved you are by all that you cannot comprehend. The universe doesn't need you to solve its riddles before rest. It only needs you to be present with wonder, to participate in the ongoing miracle of awareness aware of itself. And as your consciousness begins to merge with the vast, dreaming cosmos, you carry with you not answers, but something infinitely more precious, the peace that comes from being perfectly, lovingly lost in the mystery of what it means to be yourselves.